Hello everyone, here are the latest market news on May the 20th, 2019. Google set to stop cooperation with Huawei. Alphabet Inc.'s Google has suspended business with Huawei that requires the transfer of hardware, software, and technical services. The reason for that was adding Chinese company to blacklist of U.S. government. Google spokesperson said that holders of current Huawei smartphones with Google apps, however, will continue to be able to use and download app updates provided by Google. The tech giant will immediately lose access to updates to Google's Android operating system, and future versions of Huawei smartphones that run on Android will also lose access to popular services, including the Google Play Store, Gmail, and YouTube apps. The Trump administration on Thursday added Huawei Technologies Co Ltd to a trade blacklist, immediately enacting restrictions that will make it extremely difficult for the company to do business with U.S. counterparts. Dollar firm stocks mixed on trade war tensions. Stocks and bonds were mixed globally, with traders looking on developments in the trade war and a series of major elections. The dollar was steady while oil increased. The Stoxx Europe 600 index fell, while U.S. equity index futures pointed on a modestly firm opening. While shares were mostly mixed across Asia, they climbed in Australia. Aussie soared after a surprise election victory for Conservative Prime Minister Scott Morrison. Indian shares surged as exit polls showed Prime Minister Narendra Modi was poised to retain power. China's offshore yuan strengthened, showing some relief after trade turmoil dragged down the currency to a 5-month low. The yen slipped as unexpected economic growth in Japan came with reason for caution. Crude climbed after Saudi Arabia and other key producers in OPEC showed that they're ready to cut oil supplies for the rest of the year, while pledging to prevent a genuine shortage. Treasury yields ticked higher. PM May vows one more effort to get deals approval. UK Prime Minister Theresa May vowed one more push to get her unpopular divorce deal through Parliament. However, her party is already moving on, hurtling into a bitter leadership race that will define the course of Brexit. British pound fell 2% last week as investors braced for the possibility that May's successor could push for a hard split from the bloc, the worst-case scenario for business. In a sign that differences between the government and opposition Labour Party over Brexit and getting even harder to bridge, Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn on Sunday went the furthest yet in his support for a second referendum. The opinion survey for the Observer places the Brexit Party on 34%, when people were asked how they intended to vote on 23rd of May, with Labour slipping to 21% and the Conservatives collapsing to just 11%. Ominously, for Theresa May, support for the Tories and the European elections is on 12%.